Hello, everyone, and welcome to our 10-part series, 10 Days to a Better Company. My name is Bill Giannone, and today is day 7. Today, we're going to spend a lot of time looking at our fixed costs. Fixed costs are all of your expenses within your company that are not directly related to the execution of your business. This little graphic here can show you some of your fixed costs as they would appear on a profit and loss statement or on your year-end tax statements. The items like depreciation and amortization, those are things that we really don't spend a lot of time examining because those are what we call non-cash book transactions. Amortization is the amount of a loan that gets eliminated as the loan period passes, and depreciation is something that we do for accounting purposes as our equipment and our vehicles and our property ages. Those are just technical tax and bookkeeping processes. The ones we want to examine are the other ones: insurance, rents, utility, salaries, taxes. We've already discussed advertising and promotional expenses, equipment rental, interest expense, and legal expenses. Those would be some predominant factors that we're going to expend over the course of a year. When we examine our fixed costs, like I said, we're looking at all the expenses that are not directly related to the execution of your business. How can you tell the difference? Well, for instance, here's how I like to look at it. Any expense that you're committed to on January 1st, regardless of business volume, is a fixed expense. So, for instance, your salary for your office staff, who are going to be there every single day, regardless of the business until it gets so low that you would close, those would be fixed expenses. However, your technicians, if they're paid hourly based on their work, or if they're given commissions based on their work, those expenses are subject to the work itself. Those would not be fixed expenses. Those would be in the cost of goods that we discussed last week. So if you've got fixed expenses like rent, utilities, different expenses like insurances, those are the things we're talking about. We've already analyzed many of our expenses. Everything else we had not analyzed yet falls into this category. Obviously, because these are monies that are coming out of our account from the revenue, it's very important that we know all of our expenses. If I ask any of you guys what your rent is for the year, what your utility expenses are for the year, what your salaries are for the year, what your insurances are for the year, those are important numbers that each one of you should be able to tell me off the top of your head. And if you can't, then that's something that we should really be thinking and looking at. Why does this matter? Well, I like to point it out this way. Knowing your fixed expenses gives you control over your company's cash flows. You should be able to determine when and how much money your company will need from month to month. If you don't know what your fixed expenses are, how do you know 3 months from now what your cash requirements are going to be? Good companies are always planning on the next 3 months and understanding how much cash are they going to need to continue to operate without any hiccups or issues. Additionally, when you get to planning for the future, you're going to have the ability to figure things out in a simple, realistic way that can only benefit you and your company. Should I be taking a distribution as an owner? Well, if we know all of our fixed costs, we can make an accurate calculation and avoid the possibility of taking money out in June only to have to put it back in July or August. We need that information, and it's so important. As an owner of your company, those are the most important things you should know. Yes, it's important to know who your clients are. Yes, it's important to know who your competition is. But more than anything else, it's so important to know your numbers, and your fixed costs amount to the largest single group of expenses and risk you have in your company. Please do your best to analyze those fixed costs. Thank you for joining us for day 7. Look forward to seeing you next time. On behalf of everyone here at the Crest Network, I want to thank you so much for joining us, and you guys have a great day.